Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. We're going to start today's video. The beer's courtesy of Ross. Thanks so much, Ross. I really appreciate it. I feel like I tripped over some of those words. So really excited for this. Lumberstruck. It's a black barley wine ale aged in wine barrels. Percussion strike of premium oak. Percussive strike, if I mispronounced that. So I walked down here and I was like, I kind of want a stout. I'll probably look, I got the beer fridge, stout fridge down here, and I know I had a bunch of these beers from Ross. So I was looking through them, and this jumped out at me. So I'm like, I'm going to do this. Black barley wine. So I'm going to assume it maybe has some stouty characteristics. You're seeing in my, well, at least I'm seeing slightly more either blends of stouts and barley wines, or like it sounds like they're trying to like brew it all at the same time. So yeah, I'm really curious about this. It was actually filled back in July of 2022. It is currently the end of March 2023, and this is 12.3% ABV. I actually also toyed with the idea of maybe reviewing, like doing like a Cellar Saturday review. But yeah, I was kind of, I was in a stout mood. And seriously, as I was like walking down the stairs, I'm like, maybe a barley wine wouldn't be too bad. That's why I grabbed this beautiful glass, because I'm like, yeah, I'll probably do a stout. But this one still, it's a black barley wine, so it counts, right? It's making my glass dirty, so -1 point there. Cool can art, as always. But yeah, enough of my rambling. Let's get into it. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little darker than I think a barley wine is, but there's still like a lot of like red, crimson, brown in there. But like it's dark enough. I could see, using black as one of the descripting colors. Let's see. Not a lot of legs or lacing. I'm kind of. Oh, there we go. Now I got some legs going, but not a lot. Yeah, okay. But lower ABV at 12 and change. But yeah, I kind of thought it would have a little bit more legs, but let's get into the aroma. So it smells very barley wine. And maybe I'm misunderstanding this dark barley wine. Maybe they weren't going for any stout characteristics. But like, I don't get any roastiness yet. I get a lot of like dried fruit. I get caramel, maybe a little bit of like molasses. A very soft, sweet cherry. But yeah, like a lot of date, fig. Tons of caramelized sugar notes. A lot. Like, I'm going to say caramel and dates. I think those are very similar. But like, I could see a little bit of like butterscotch pudding. Werther's Originals, big time that in beer form. Yeah, it's very, very barley wine for me. All right, let's see about the taste. Cheers. Thanks again, Ross. Really appreciate it. Okay, so now it makes sense. And I'm realizing I don't think I talked about the wine barrel part of this. Did I say aged in wine barrels? And then it even says aged in Saxum wine barrels. Looks like Saxum, Saxum. I didn't look anything up, is typical for me. But in the taste, you get that like oak, and I think the sweet cherry thing I got in the aroma, I'm getting a very like oaky, dry, yet cherry taste. How to better describe it? It kind of like maybe like you had like a cherry popsicle and you're at the very end and it's like the stick, so you get like the taste of the stick, but also there's some like residual sweet cherry to it. It's kind of like that, but it's like a very dry cherry, or like I guess red wine. And again, I should have looked it up what kind of wine it is, but like I've gotten a similar, I've gotten the same note of like a relatively dry red wine. So maybe that is the barrel. So that would make even more sense. Like the aroma, though, it is way more barley wine to me than barrel stuff. And I'm not mad about that. Like, that's very cool with me. Maybe it's part of why there's like that red crimson color so much in there. I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me. I get some grape now, which I did not get before, but maybe just because like having some on the palate. I don't know. But I'm still getting all that other stuff I was getting. That's interesting. Man, I like this too. I gotta say that. It's got these like. You know what it reminds me of? Is those, I don't know if you can see them if I'm out of the way enough. Those Sammy Clauses. It's got like that sweet, almost like when I think of prickly, it's not like sweetness causing the prickliness, but there's almost like this, like these pops of sweetness that are almost like prickly. Descriptor I don't think I've ever used before. So like it has, and again, going like with this caramelized sugar thing for sure. And then maybe the alcohol helps dry it out. The barrel aging helps dry it out. This potentially, like dry red wine, I'm thinking anyway, is helping dry it out. So like you're getting that balance for a beer that, I mean, this is some big extremes, but like, there's some, balance in terms of like scale, not like it's perfectly interwoven balance. Maybe some aging would get that going. But like, speaking of aging, like this drink's awesome. Now I know it's coming up on probably 8 months, right, or 9 months. Like some aging already has occurred, but man, like this is drinking great now. Period. Like if I had another can of this, I'd just be like, yeah, I'd probably drink it now. I don't see how this could get better. So I don't want to like oversell any sort of conflictingness or sharpness or whatever that it would need more aging, because this is spot on right now as far as I'm concerned. The only thing that's really confusing me is the black barley wine, because I was going in thinking it would have some stouty notes, and I don't get any. And that's probably the thing I'm most curious about. Like when I'm done filming this, I have to look up, like, did people get stoutiness? Like I don't get any roast at all. Like, and I'm an avid coffee drinker, let alone beers that are roasty. Like I like roast. I know what roast is, and I'm not getting it. Anything that's not just traditionally what I think a barley wine tastes like can be attributed to wine barrel aging. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe they did use some darker malts than normal for a barley wine, but they weren't going for like a roasty element. I don't know. I'll have to look up. Maybe they probably on their website they say more about this beer, and if I was a better beer tuber and wasn't so lazy and looked it up ahead of time. No, the real reason I don't look that stuff up is because I want as little influence as possible. I just want to give like this, my thoughts, what I'm tasting and experiencing, So anyway, I think I'm starting to ramble, so I know it's time to wrap it up. Thanks again, Ross. I really appreciate it. Has anyone else had this beer and could speak on it? Man, a lot of cherry right there. Wow. Not quite medicinal cherry, but like approaching it. But anyway, if you've had this beer before or anything that sounds like this, or you have, some insider information about what the heck a black barley wine is, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.